Come on. Hey. How you doing? Good to see you.
Always. Hi, baby.
Hi. This is Gigi. She's 1 year old. She may not make it, but we're gonna try to hold her together as much as we can. How you doing? What's your name? It's okay.
Oh, I'm Chuck.
Nice to meet you, Chynah. Good to see you. Thank you.
And I've got
It's all good. Not you think it's all good. That's all right.
Hey, Brianna, nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Stan, baby.
Stan, nice to meet you. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Nez.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
How
to
you
meet
doing?
you.
Thank you for saying hello. Okay. Come on,
And who's this?
This is Gigi. My 1 year old who does her best to hold it together.
Ah, okay.
Hey.
Hey.
You don't have to talk that.
Thank you so much, guys, for the support.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do we know what it's about and who this guy is?
I think I've met him years
You
ago.
met him before? Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
You remember me, like, talking with him?
Well, I'll tell you why, because I used to work at WRBB.
Oh,
So he would, so he would come by. Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Hey, when were you there, man?
Huh?
When were you there?
From 78 to 85.
Okay.
Prime years.
I was gonna say. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Miss Rose. She's like,
And you know what I always tell people too, because the New Edition thing, we were the first ones to play their record. It wasn't WILD.
Oh, yeah, I hear you.
I want that known.
Yeah. Because RBB was kind of underground. He played the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The record would come in and we'd throw it on the air.
Yeah. Yeah, right, because you didn't have any issues with whatever. Yeah.
Boston history, you right?
RBB.
Mm-hmm.
Used to jam at RBB. You kidding?
So Boston history right there, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Never know, right?
Thank you. So we'll jump in. So is this on your Facebook Live?
Not live, no.
Is it your Facebook?
YouTube.
Okay, YouTube. How you doing?
How you doing? I met you before. You don't.
Yeah.
I know.
You don't gotta say hi to the YouTube.
I got you.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. You guys all know
Morning.
me, State Rep Chynah Tyler. I'm kind of newer to being your state rep for this particular building because I didn't always represent Council Tower. I've been in office for going on 9 years now. So from 95% of it, I didn't represent Council Tower. After a while, we kind of changed districts, added some pieces on, took away some pieces. It's just a process we do every 10 years. So of course, I was happy to pick up Council Tower, Academy Homes, going up to Eggleston, but not necessarily Eggleston Square, just everything, the gas station and back this way, which I traditionally didn't have. And now I represent Mission Hill, which I didn't always represent before. And I kind of gave up some pieces of the South End, which is all good, you know.
It's all right.
So
Yeah.
new district, you know, and so I'm just kind of coming around and making sure I answer every question you possibly have and just spending time. I mean, really, that's really what the job is about, listening to you, hearing what your thoughts are. And I just wanted to kind of give you one big update. I know we're not here for forever. My 1 year probably usually lasts for about an hour for the most part, but then we got to break it down. But I wanted to just give one big update on just like what the office is focused on as far as elder services and elder care. Of course, like I'm always a big fan of just senior services, elder care in general. I am a big fan of Central Boston Elder Services, which does a lot around like just providing endless services for senior care. But the one thing particularly that I am a big fan of and I'm a big supporter of is falls prevention. Something I kind of learned, falls prevention, like when you fall down.
Yeah, I have a lot of history with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't really know very much about falls prevention until I came in this role, and again, listening to seniors and kind of hearing about how it is aging, generally speaking, and people falling and having incidents like that just kind of out of the blue is kind of the most common thing that I've heard about. It just happens, your body changes, the sidewalks aren't always straight, things just aren't the way they seem to be, and that it just happens. And so I wanted to focus on falls prevention. So we do a walk every year in Nubian Square. We just do a quick loop around Nubian Square. Not very big, but we're just kind of awareness, We did it downtown Boston Common. We just walked the Common one loop, just kind of awareness. But we do a lot of on a state level, just kind of funding into this initiative for falls prevention. So it's a free program, and it's through Central Boston Elder Services. And what they do is that they come in your home and they do a quick assessment. They see kind of where the places you spend your most time, kind of walking down hallways where you're kind of always traveling at. And and they install these free rails in your home, and it's all for free.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so if you know someone that's interested in that, let us
Like
know.
grab bar type.
Yeah,
of
grab
thing.
bars. Yep,
Okay.
it's like bars right on handle
Yeah,
bars.
other than the bathroom.
Yep, other than the bathroom. Sorry, let me just.
So the program pays for the grab bar.
Yep. It pays for the grab bar, and
That's really
it's
good.
totally free of charge.
Saves
Yeah.
companies money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that, I mean, the Central Boston Elder Services does 3,000 things, but that particular item, the falls prevention, is the one that I'm most happy to be supportive of, and I think it's the most impactful when it comes to just aiding in your physical body. They talk about, you need access to mass health, to all these things, Medicare, but your physical body also matters to me as well. So falls prevention is really big. The second update that I wanted to give you guys is around safety. I'm learning that, aging in general, like when folks don't feel safe, then it messes with your physical well-being, it messes with your mental well-being.
Sure.
And everything you guys been hearing about mass and cast, the hot topic, that mass and cast BS is coming to Nubian Square. It's coming to Eggleston Square. It's going to Brigham Circle. It's going to Grove Hall, Upham's Corner, and it's wildfire right now. And so for the past 4 years, like I've noticed that. I think Nubian Square right now is like the worst it's ever been.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West down there. If I'm just being totally honest. YouTube, I'm just being honest. YouTube is what it is. And so as the second biggest hub after downtown. Is Nubian Square from Dudley Station, and we got to make sure that our downtown is taken care of. And so what we've been doing over the last couple of years is funding a 24/7 security initiative in Nubian Square, because the seniors in the building the senior building in Nubian Square, you guys know that building?
Yeah.
Next to Central Boston Elder Services. They were complaining that the housing, they didn't feel safe walking and play their numbers to go to the store, just be out in the square. And Nubian Square is just a mess. Just generally speaking, the public health wellness is just not where it's supposed to be. And so we had used the state budget. So, we try to do our best to spend taxpayers' dollars as responsibly as possible every year. And that's really big for me, making sure that if you're paying taxes, that it's being spent correctly. And so, So we do a 24/7 security initiative in Nubian Square where you have unarmed security, kind of just making sure the seniors are all right, moving people along. If there's 100 people out in front of the store wheeling and dealing and doing their regular everyday they'll make sure the seniors are able to kind of be around Nubian Square and just be safe around Nubian Square. And so,
that's very good.
Yeah,
I have senior parents that go in Dudley all the time.
Oh yeah,
So that's
it's something
good.
else. And Dudley is becoming really just international at this point. It's not like local anymore. Anybody who knows that they want stuff, it's like you can go
Still
to
Dudley.
pretty much Union Square to get it.
Yeah.
I'm from Boston, so we use it interchangeably. So please, I have to be corrected sometimes to call it Union Square. But so that's the biggest thing is senior safety. I am big on making sure that you all feel safe. And so that's something that we use taxpayers' dollars for, generally speaking. But there's obviously two sides of my job is to make sure that we bring money back to Roxbury, and the other part is filing bills and passing bills, which I know that you guys want to ask about.
Yeah.
So the passing bills part of that is that I filed a bill to make sure that every senior building has 24/7 security in the front. So not all buildings are like wonderful like your building where you gotta kind of have a key fob to get in. And sometimes people just buzz you and I'm just gonna clean up after her, it's all good. They buzz the door and they just let anybody in, that's kind of common when it comes to senior buildings. And hello, come on in.
Come on in.
Yeah.
You can take my seat. Oh, you can sit over here.
No, I'm going back out.
Okay, it's all good. Thank you for coming by. I'll come over there and say hi. And
I'm going back in my house.
and it's folks just buzz people in, and a lot of people, seniors are complaining that like people just letting anybody in the building and they don't know who's ringing the bell, and that's how a lot of that negative behavior comes into the senior buildings. I've done a ton of walk through senior buildings. I usually walk around and just come and just pop up and see how things are going, and particularly in Nubian Square, you see a lot of that negative behavior just people just, hanging out in the laundry room, people that don't live in the building, kind of just inviting the negative behavior in the building. And so that bill to make sure that every senior building has 24/7 security is so important to me because it's going to, again, make sure that you all feel safe. And so we filed it this year. It has not had a hearing at the moment. So some of the engagement that you can do as far as supporting state legislation is like maybe writing a letter saying, I think that it's important that seniors should feel safe. Maybe signing a petition, or if you want to come down to the State House, which I know you come down all the time, and testifying, you're always welcome to come to the State House and kind of uplift any issue, not just around security, which is what I see commonly around Roxbury, just given the massive cast issue and given the safety and what's happened in Nubian Square, but around any issue. Public safety, public health, education, whatever it is. But I think that those two things is kind of the two updates that I thought that were most important that I wanted to be able to just kind of put out there for you all, safety, and I just wanted to give an update. So it's more important for me to hear from you, so I guess I'll stop there. Make any comments you like, jump in. I'm not afraid to answer any question. Even if if you gotta come at me, it's good. Sometimes I'm not always perfect, but I try to be as best as I possibly can be. So thank y'all for having me and open the floor. Yeah. People next. No, go ahead.
I'm speaking on Union Square. I go there a lot, and this when I go, I'm impressed by the program. The March number 11, they have with I always say it wrong.
It's on March 11.
No, it's
Minister Randy.
Yeah, but I'm talking. There's it's a square. It's touch recovery. I'm saying.
Torchlight Recovery Center. Yes.
Because they're down there all the time, and I mean, male and female, giving information to individuals, and sometimes, like lately, it's not as many people down there as in the past, and I'm a member of that. Yeah, and they do some wonderful work, and it's like March of 11, but it's not run by the nation.
Yeah,
it's
it's a recovery center. Yeah,
but they say that if you go there, they're trying to make you a Muslim. Like, I'm not a Muslim, but I go there, and I support it because it's not just men, it's women, it's people with alcoholism, mental health, and they have all the programs to be referring, and more and more people are coming to it.
You guys know about the Torchlight Recovery Center in Grove Hall?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, we heard about
I
it.
know
That's
all
what I'm
about it
talking
because
about.
of my
It's the
experience
best.
Flint.
Yeah, it's the best. And the Moss does a really great job. So they're part of the 24/7 security initiative in Nubian Square. I'm sure you've seen them out there.
I've seen them out there.
But yeah, they do a great job at making
Like
sure
I
that
said, I
communicate.
go down there, but a lot of times I don't feel really safe, but I try to watch, but cause I'm more or less a target, because they see me with my chair, man, and I am elderly.
But you're also too from Roxbury, so
Right.
there's
A lot of
that.
people know.
So are those guys like walking? Sorry, Stan. Are they walking around?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
They're
the Roxbury
they're
Main
all
Streets,
over, Nubian Square.
and we did the unarmed thing because it's like we don't want folks to feel like it's more policing and open.
Right,
It's like, we don't want that. It's just really just kind of just an initiative to
But then
try to
again,
move folks along. Yeah.
But then again, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else got a pistol. Why not the good guys?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
But
That's
my
also a point.
yeah, I mean,
That's
but
also a point.
my question was the loss of the pharmacies as far as the elders are concerned. Walgreens is gone from Dudley Station. The Walgreens on Warren Street is now gone. So all you have is Grove Hall, which is kind of
Down here.
And
kind of
South Bend
sketchy.
closed too. South
Yeah.
Bend
The one
closed.
on Washington Street?
Yeah, it just closed. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
There's
what-
no Columbus Ave one over.
It's just Brigham Circle now.
Brigham Circle. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
it.
You know, this was Walgreens
Yeah.
on Columbus Ave. Just
The one-
right
Well,
out
the one over here.
Yeah.
near
That's the
Dunkin'
one I
Donuts.
use.
Yeah. But how long before that one
I
closed?
know.
Yeah.
So what is there a plan? Is there a drugstore that wants to come in and open up some?
You got cornfields, but it's kind of small.
Yeah,
Cornfields is
There,
very
you know
small.
where the Dunkin' Donuts is?
right over here.
Right, there goes
Right
right
over
next to
there.
the gas station.
Yeah.
Oh, this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that street. That one.
Yeah.
Columbus Ave.
Yeah, so to answer your question around the issue with Walgreens, so again, a lot of that stems from we talked about first safety, mask and cast, right? Like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
first they started putting beepers on the laundry detergent. Then you got
Yeah.
to call to get deodorant because it's
Yeah.
locked up, and like
Right,
kind of just
sure.
the downfall of the
Yeah.
store in general. So
Right.
the national company decided they wanted to pull. It wasn't necessarily an issue with the community. That's the
Okay.
reason why they wanted to pull their
Oh,
businesses
wow.
because of
They were
the high
losing too much
theft. They
money.
weren't making money,
Right.
so they pulled
That's
their
what they're
businesses.
saying.
So
Yeah.
there have been some initiatives where CVS is interested in coming to the area, but again, it's all around safety and how can you
Sure.
best,
Sure.
secure. But unfortunately, people that live in communities like ours are extremely savvy, and if that issue hasn't really been discussed or even really vetted, but CVS is looking to come around. But I do represent the hospitals in the Longwood Medical Center area, and now the hospitals have their own pharmacies in the
Yeah.
hospital, so you don't really have to
Yeah.
even go to pharmacy.
Yeah.
And then
There's a
also
pharmacy
they
right here in
deliver
Dimmick.
to seniors for
Oh,
free.
there is.
Yeah,
I don't
that is
think a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
There's also a pharmacy in Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially
yeah.
the one in South Bay.
Stop and Shop.
They
And
do
they
really well
deliver to
too.
seniors for free, so
Oh yeah.
you don't really have to work very hard to be
Right.
able to get your medication.
It's just
So,
nice to have one
Oh,
locally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
just the store aspect of it, I hear.
yeah. And it's close. The seniors can walk there
Yeah.
without worrying
And so what
about
I'm
anything.
seeing at the Walgreens over in Eggleston Square is that
Mm.
it's going downhill.
Yeah.
It's not always highly stocked.
So
Mhm.
at a
Same
time.
issues, you know.
Yeah, they do.
And so if you know someone that wants to be connected to making sure that they get their medications delivered, or even if they can't afford their medications,
Yeah.
because that's been a new topic that I'm hearing a lot from seniors. Just let me know. We'll be able to make the world go round as far as making sure folks have
I
what
have
they
a
need.
question,
Yes.
regarding like a lot of the new housing and buildings that are going in, Union Square area, down Dudley, as I say.
Yeah.
Are some of those buildings gonna have, ground floor, space for new businesses, like home businesses or whatever, because now it's called Nubian, and then, but there's only a couple of black-owned businesses down there. You know, before it was Dudley, and there was no problem. Then they all got taken away, and they finally passed, and calling it, Nubian Square. But there's no black businesses, and if you're putting in those apartments, are they gonna be affordable for people in that area? And I doubt that, but.
Yeah.
Um,
So they
Is there gonna be space for new businesses, such as, a Walgreens
pharmacy,
or
yeah.
whatever?
Absolutely. Actually, so yes, to answer your question is yes. A lot of the new models of types of buildings you'll see will be like housing on top, storefront at the bottom, coffee shop,
Yeah.
something like that to kind of make it a community. It's kind of a new model that the city kind of has, or the state has kind of, it's called live, work, play. Like you should be able to live, work in a building like this if you're working remote and play in your building and never really leave your neighborhood. So
That's neat. I like that.
yeah, I'm a fan of that. I mean, it keeps you local and it kind of just makes things a little bit more convenient.
Brings the
you know?
community together a
Yeah.
little bit more. Okay.
But particularly at Nubian Square, have you heard about Nubian Ascends?
No.
Oh, okay. So the biggest project in Nubian Square right now is Nubian Ascends, the Blair lot, the big parking lot. They're trying to build pretty much a big conglomerate community right there, and it's called in Blair lot. It's called Nubian Ascends.
Where's that?
So it'll
That
go
big
from-
lot between Harrison and,
Right there, yeah.
Yeah,
where
Right
Mr.
there. Yeah.
G's
yeah.
Plaza was,
Yes,
that,
yes, yes.
that lot right there, yeah.
Okay.
So what they will do is that
It's the big parking lot. Right between Harrison and Washington Street.
Blair's used to be?
Right where Blair's used to be at.
Yes.
Right next to Alex's.
That's old school right there.
Yeah. That whole, you know where it's at. I'll show you.
Sarah knows
Yeah, you
about
know the
that.
spot.
Okay, I'm sure I do.
You know about
Oh, Mr. G's lot, you know that, right?
Yes.
Mr.
Oh,
G.
yes. Okay, yeah, I know
That's what
Mr. G.
Blair's was also.
So right there, the building Nubian Ascends, and it's one of those new buildings that's gonna have residential, office space, storefronts in the bottom, some space you can hang out and chill, coffee shops, all that. It'll be like a community, and it's gonna be actually built by a black developer, Richard Taylor. You all may be familiar with. He's from Roxbury, so
Yeah.
obviously the black-owned remnants of what is gonna be presented there, obviously is gonna be prevalent there. And then soon, in a few months, is going to be finally on the corner in the Ferdinand building, the Jazz Urbane
Oh, yeah.
is going to open up. The Jazz Urbane Cafe restaurant is going to open up.
That's right.
So,
That's really good.
so you'll see a lot of what we know as Dudley Square, just the culture-wise, be back up and rolling, but we just have to make sure that we shop there, we dine
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's
Even
looking
if
really
we
nice
just go
down
and
there.
chill there, like,
You
you know,
walk
taking
through
up
there.
space is important.
Yeah, a lot of money down there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been brought up or even if it's an issue, but it's kind of an issue with me and other folks also, but, the T
Yes.
running from, Dudley, Nubian to Forest Hills is terrible.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so when I-
and
You
they
mean the
say,
42?
before when they had someone here, they were saying because of the ridership. Well, as long as it takes to get a bus to come through, by now, people are trying to go to work, school, whatever. They find another way to go. Most likely they walk to Columbus Ave, they walk to Jackson Square, or whatever. But in between it, there's still people that are trying to get from point A to point B. And it's ridiculous as far as time and waiting. And on Sunday, there's one bus that runs back and forth. So you can imagine
Only
what that is.
one? Wow.
But
Wow.
I'm just saying, is there something that can be done
Yeah, absolutely.
to, you know,
Kind of more frequent.
more, yeah.
Um,
That's really the
right.
thing, is more frequent on the
I walk
service.
faster than that bus.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, so to
If you got
comment on
people
that,
riding for free,
yeah,
you know, well, they need to be paying us to ride.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel. I know that's not gonna happen, but I'm just saying.
you never know. A lot of things
It's
are happening
just,
these days,
it's just
you know.
ridiculous.
One
And if
thing
it's
I would
not
say
a
about the
large
40
ridership, that's because it's so
It's not
daggone
frequent,
slow.
yeah. It's interesting to me that the 42 bus isn't frequent because it runs through a highly residential neighborhood. It's like from starting from Nubian Square all the way down to Forest Hills, it's all residential.
Yeah.
So obviously it would make sense for it to be frequent. But when I came here, I think it was last year, so when I had baby, so it was about a year ago. My first meeting, they were doing a program called kind of just revamping the bus routes. It's called a better bus project, which was the project. And what they were doing was that they were looking at all the different lines on the bus to figure out how they can make it better. So I remember, I know Corey, you probably remember this. We did send an advocacy note, and we actually attended their working session to push for some of the bus lines. A lot of folks were complaining about the bus lines in their area. I mean, the 44 bus too, they were complaining on Humboldt Ave, it wasn't as frequent as they would like, same thing, you know what I mean? So, right now we're back talking to the T, because Humboldt Avenue is concerned about everything happening on Humboldt Ave. They just took away bus stops, add bus stops, make some changes, but they don't let the neighbors know about what's happening. So we're actually going to be having a meeting soon with the MBTA and so that's the T regional, but as a state elected, Massachusetts Department of Transportation, which is what the discussion's going to be with around transportation in Roxbury coming up soon. So I'll be happy to add that issue around how do we make the 42 more frequent along in between Nubian Square and Forest Hills. But so I'll add that to the list. So Corey will add that. So one thing I want to ask you too is about the ride. Tell me about that.
The ride.
The last update I had was the ride was not the fastest. It doesn't come on time.
No.
Tell me about the ride. I want to hear about what folks say about the ride.
I ride it frequently, and it's terrible. The timing, the drivers, a lot of them are doing, even though some of the passengers aren't too. But I'm with Mass Gas, and I know right now they have a committee that deals with a liaison. They're supposed to just put about some new process, but it's the way they outreach, right? I went to Aid Strong, and I said to them about the new program. If you don't ride the ride, you don't know about it. So I asked them, why aren't they giving that information to individuals that work for the ride? Give it to us where we can post it. And they told me because it's a state program. I mean, yeah, so they don't give the services. Show just like they have ones that show you about different programs, which that's another story with each one.
Yeah.
But,
I
really
find that
needs-
the ride, most of the time picks people up on time to get to where they have to go.
Okay.
The problem is, after they're there, seen the doctor or whatever, they're going, coming back to get them, they wait longer
Yeah, I heard that same thing.
to
Okay,
come
yeah, so
home
it's
than
coming
they
back,
need to
yeah.
go. Like the time that they spent wherever they were at, doctor or store, whatever. You know, that's the part I don't like about it. But they do have a program they call the Flex program. And that gives you a little more option to move, because the Flex program is you have the ride, you can use it when you want to, and then you have the Flex program, which is if you have an Uber or a Lyft account, you can use that. And they don't,
Oh, so you have to pay for it though?
Yeah, you pay for it, just like
yeah.
you pay for the ride. You
Yeah.
still have to put money on account to use the ride. But you can go,
price.
you can go, it's a few
I
cents
thought the ride was
cheaper,
free.
and you can move around better. You can call your own ride when
Right,
you need to
I thought it
go.
was free.
They usually 10 minutes at the most you have to wait,
Okay.
you know, and they bring you back, and you can go further.
Oh, I didn't know that
That's
they
the
had
option
that
that
at
I like about that program, but as far as just strictly using the ride,
Yeah.
they pick you up on time,
Okay.
most of the time, but they don't come back and get you. You sit there waiting
Seems like
for an hour. Some people have told me they've waited like 2 hours
Yeah.
just to get
Yeah,
home,
that's
and they
crazy.
have no
Yeah.
choice.
What I did
No other
learn
choice.
recently is that they're starting a new program with the ride where they're gonna be, you're gonna be able to know what time, like right away or
That's what I was
something to,
referring to, it's supposed to
Like an app?
start a new
yeah,
ride.
something like that. I just was learning
And think
about.
about those that don't have the knowledge or don't use that. What's that doing for them?
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
So
They're
I'm
still
just
sitting there
Like,
waiting
that's
because
why-
they don't know how, if they have a cell phone, a lot of
Yeah,
people
it's
don't.
the technology barrier,
And
yeah.
they don't know what to do.
Yeah,
That's
They're
true.
stuck.
yeah.
We can, I'll try to put something together, like a FYI one pager as to how it works, but again, I do respect that not all folks are technologically savvy, but, yeah, I'll look into that and see what the T is talking about, but one also thing that I also wanted to kind of add to, in addition to the ride, and in addition to the Flex program, is that the city of Boston also has, vouchers for the taxi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we have
you
that.
spend like $20 for a book,
Yeah.
like
That's another
100.
thing,
I get
call
those.
a cab, and the cab takes forever to get here, then you're late.
Yeah.
That happened to someone here yesterday. I was sitting in the lobby waiting for my lift to come. They were waiting for a taxi. And then she had to call back and say, y'all haven't picked me up yet, I'm gonna be late for my appointment, then I'm gonna have to reschedule. And then my ride came and I left, and she was still here. And then I asked her later when I came home, well, what happened? She said, well, because she had called and complained so bad that they didn't charge her. They called the driver, and once he did get here, they called and told him, don't charge her, take her.
Yeah, but the point was that she's late.
Right.
Yeah, because she was
Yeah.
late.
Yeah.
And they may have not even seen her.
Yeah.
Because
I don't-
that's
I
what
didn't
happens
ask
when you're
her
like
that.
15 minutes
I'm
late,
just
they won't
saying.
even see you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, yeah.
That's
The
unfortunate.
cab
Yeah.
coupons is great, I got them in all my pocketbooks.
Yeah.
Me too.
So,
I leave them in
but
there.
that's something that I would like to take up as far as just like, in addition to the things that we talked about. Like, I want to take up the transportation piece, and I'm gonna do some more research and probably come back to you all and like hear a little bit more about it and get into it. That's really important to me. Again, you spend that money, that time trying to get to an appointment or wherever it is that you're going, and you really need to be there. Being late is unacceptable, So I'm gonna look into that. Over in Mission Hill, a lot of the seniors were complaining also about like getting around and just getting around Mission Hill because the hills are so steep over there.
Yeah.
And we established, well, they already had it, but we actually were able to fund it more with the same money that we used from the budget that we did for the 24/7 security. They have the Mission Hill Link Bus. You guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, I heard of it,
Link Bus
yeah.
in Mission Hill, yeah. So it takes them around Mission Hill, just as a loop. So I'm interested to kind of learn.
They had it
more.
years ago and they got rid of it. Now they're bringing it
Yeah,
back.
we funded, yeah, so we
Mhm.
refunded it back again. So it's a partnership between myself, the hospital over there in Mission Hill, and a couple other small partners kind of all donate to make it happen. So
That's great.
and it comes every 10 minutes. It's always coming. It's on
Mhm.
point. It's a great. I've ridden it several times. It's nice and clean. And so okay.
And that's free, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
And it just takes you around the local area?
They take you up to the hospital area, back down around.
Where
Yeah.
do you
Stop and
get
shop.
Like Mission Hill.
There's a many stops around the route, but pretty much it goes from like the top of the hill, Mission Hill, Heath Street area, up through Mission Hill, Stop and Shop, Walgreens area.
Oh,
down
that's
through
good, and
Alice
that's called the
Taylor.
link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mission Hill Link.
Do they offer anything like that for Roxbury?
So that's something that I'm gonna look into that. See.
Yeah, that would be
Wait,
right.
so you gotta be a Mission Hill resident
Well,
to use
it's that
it?
area that goes up the hill, so
Yeah.
it
I'm
helps.
asking because, like, for example, I drive my mother up there all the time to get her prescriptions because she got
Yeah.
issues with her leg. She's an elder,
Mhm.
so if that would be helpful because she's, she wants to be independent
Sure.
still. So,
Yeah. Well, it only goes through Mission Hill. It's not gonna bring her over here to Roxbury. So they have a set route that they
oh,
have
I
to
see.
take.
I
Yeah, right,
understand.
right.
Okay.
Circle, yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be
let-
nice to bring
yeah.
to
Yeah,
Roxbury.
I'm saying,
That would
like
be
a set
very
So
route.
nice.
tell me, if you could give me a couple stops, like if one like
Dudley.
that did a
Dudley.
loop. Okay, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Grove
Or
Hall.
is it Nubian? Which one?
Okay. New
It's always been Dudley. It always will be. Grove Hall.
Woodland Park's always.
Because there's a post office in
Yeah,
Dudley, the
Grove
post office in
Hall.
Grove Hall.
That's a good
And
one.
then Eggleston over there.
That's a nice diamond. Triangle.
Yeah.
Eccleston.
Yeah.
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 We can try to do a pilot and make it happen. It started here first.
Yeah, there you
Makes a lot
go.
of
Yeah,
sense.
I
Mhm.
think
We'll
it's
work
a
on
great
that, yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be very helpful to the community, the Roxbury community.
I mean, unless they improve the tea around here.
Yeah. The
That
dealing
would
with
be
the T
great.
has been not the easiest.
Speaking of the T, what do we think about the center running bus lane going up Blue Hill Ave?
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of it either.
Yeah,
Traffic
no.
in Boston is just out of this world. It's crazy.
Yeah, it takes you an hour to go from like
One to the
One-
other.
one
I live
place
right
to
in
another
Nubian
place.
Square, and it takes me like 20 minutes to get out of Nubian Square. Once you're in that right there, like you can't get out of there for 20 minutes, and then it's just crazy. So the whole center bus lane, I'm not a fan of it.
I'm not a fan of it at all.
And
no.
I just think that there are better opportunities where folks can really study, what makes most sense as far as like changing the roadways here in Boston. Not everyone rides a bike, not everyone drives
Right.
a car, not everyone
Right.
does all
That's
that
true.
stuff. And so you gotta be a little bit more.
The one
clean
key-
that up. You gotta be a little bit more balanced as to how
she's
you offer.
busy, that's all
this
right.
training. She does
She's
everything.
exploring.
She does everything. She does it all.
The one key thing I noticed they need to spend money on is synchronizing the traffic lights to
Yes.
move the traffic
I
through the
agree.
city.
Absolutely.
Good
They have millions of dollars and they don't synchronize the traffic lights whatsoever.
It's almost like it's on purpose to make us more aggravated. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like common sense. Like, that has to be coordinated.
What's the traffic
So
light?
you have to synchronize so you get it's called a green wave. So you can get a green wave from Roxbury to Mattapan Square if you're driving the speed limit the proper way.
For driving.
Right.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, you can do
Keep
that.
traffic
It can be
flowing
done.
at the proper-
So the lights will change accordingly to move
Yes.
the
You know how I get home so quickly, I cut everybody off. I wouldn't have to do that.
But if they had it, if the lights work properly,
Right.
it'll move
It'll flow better.
it'll move
I
a
agree.
certain group of traffic
Yeah.
through the lights properly.
So it stands to reason if they're not coordinated,
Right.
you're stuck at intersections for hours.
I'll be happy to advocate for more green waves in
Mhm.
Boston.
I like that.
And I know I just want to keep track of time and make sure everybody has a chance to ask questions. I want to ask you guys a question too, or just like throw something out there and see how you feel. White Stadium.
Oh no, that's a
Talk
joke.
to me about that.
Money could go other places for sure. It's gonna cause a lot of traffic, a lot of headache.
People that are in the neighborhood now that barely have parking, what are they gonna do when they build this humongous stadium and you have these international meets and all that? So that means
Is
people
that
come
right?
from everywhere,
Mhm.
traffic,
Wow.
buses.
I thought it was good school.
Where
High
are they
school.
gonna put all
No, it's fair.
those cars and buses?
So you want to know what they say? Talk about the 42 bus. They say that everyone is going to be able to park in Forest Hills and get on the 42 bus.
How?
Uh,
How?
Oh.
The 42
I
is
can't
the one
even
that
on-
doesn't
They're gonna have to make it like a 28 if that's the
Right.
case.
Right.
So
That's like
so
$1
back to
million
your
more
point.
dollars. That is
Yes,
not
it's
effective. That is not effective.
It's not gonna
So a
happen.
lot of folks are not very disappointed about that. Not a lot of people come out against it. I've come out and supported the Roxbury Defenders, who would like the staple group of everybody who you may know that are just opposed to the White Stadium project. Not that it doesn't need to be redone because the White Stadium we
Because
all
it
know is
does.
gray. Like
Right.
it needs to be
Right.
upgraded. We
Right.
know that, but
Yeah.
how it's being done and
Right,
the whole
the
kind of
way-
like the
right.
wraparound thing around how you doing it is not really in sync. And so I'm concerned about that whole process, and I've been advocating pretty strongly, pushing back
But their
on the
part's
city on
not
that.
What's the
gonna be-
timeline on that?
For the people that
It's,
live close to it,
it's,
not
it's
gonna be
right,
our
so they didn't have
property,
funding
it's not
up
gonna be
until
someplace
recently.
wanna
Not that they didn't have funding, they didn't really
because
secure
it's
the
almost like
dollar
that
amount.
now.
Oh, wow.
It's
I haven't
ever
been up there in a
increasing.
while.
I heard like $100,000 plus now.
Yeah, it's ever increasing, and it's just kind of just not as stable as you would think. As if they were going to build next door, then you would know, like, this day they're going to break the ground, this day they're going to be going into the ground, next day they're going to be building up the scaffold, things like that. And so not as in tune with that as they should be. But so if you guys keep a track of that, though.
A lot of
Make sure
neighbors are
that-
against it though. The
What was it?
people, a lot of neighbors like on Seaver Street in
Everybody's
Walnut.
against it.
they're
Yeah, I don't
against
know
it
how
for
it's being
sure.
done, but
So how they allow that to happen when there's so many people against it?
yeah. You probably should talk to the city boss about that next time you see the.
Oh, she's pushing it the wrong direction. She's I already kind of know.
So.
Interesting.
Who would we speak to about things like increasing like pest control?
Oh,
You know,
rats.
like mice are like,
Yeah.
or
Oh.
rats.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't have rats here, but
In the neighborhood there
my,
are.
like for example, my parents, they have like,
Yeah.
you know, mice and rats. Well, not rats, but
I don't let my
it's
little
like
one
a
go outside
huge
because of
issue.
mice. And they're not like little mice. They're
Yeah.
like
Rats have been a
It's
big
like I
problem.
drive to the back of the house and like there's like rats running, and we're
Yeah.
like, this is
I
terrible.
think it's
Nothing
a
like that.
citywide thing though. That's the
I know,
problem.
so but what is the city doing, or is there a plan there
Yeah.
for?
Supposedly they have a
to
program
combat
for
this?
that.
Like,
Yeah,
we need to put
supposedly-
some poison in them to kill them all, or something. I don't know, you know.
yeah. Supposedly they had an initiative to be able to kind of do away with a lot of the rats. But I'll talk about two things how they come about. They come about because of a lot of construction. Like
Right.
Yeah.
So for example, like Bartlett Station down the street, like it used to be all grass area. Now not only do we have mice and rats, but we also have coyotes around too.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
big time.
Which is
Right here.
Oh yeah,
That
right
was
over
right
there.
over
Mhm.
Let me tell you
Lives
something,
back there.
you're gonna see me out of here at 100 miles per hour.
So, you
Now,
know,
Valentine's Street, there's a lot where this used to be the school.
yeah, they
They're
got
all
that.
in the
Yeah,
back.
that's what they live.
Yeah.
They're all around right
So,
now.
So on the rats, what they do is that they put out this poison that pretty much dries them out. So it's like Alka-Seltzer plus, it's kind of something like that, which is what the person explained to me what it is. And they eat it, and it pretty much dries them out from the inside, and then you see a bunch of like dead rats everywhere. So should you come across a program that's gonna kind of address that, what you'll see is a lot of dead rats after it's addressed everywhere because they pretty much dry from the inside out. So just be aware that, you know, you're gonna get one thing, but you're gonna have to deal with the aftermath, which is
Yeah,
totally fine
absolutely.
as long as they're away.
Yeah,
just so
right.
you know like what the process is and going through that. So
Okay.
the city does have an initiative on the rats, and I'll be happy to print out some information and
I
send
have
it
one
over.
last
and-
question. I know we're out of time.
No, it's all good. It's
Okay.
good. It's good. It's good.
About like senior programming. I don't live in the city of Boston, but because I work here, I want to know all that we can offer our seniors.
Yeah.
So I find a lot of seniors telling me that like they're bored.
What's that?
Or they're bored and don't have like anything to do during the day. So, you know, like right now we're down in RSC, so we don't have much to offer other than like, you know, these things are great in music
What
work.
is it?
But, like, are
RST?
there
What's that?
a resident services coordinator, like to get out there and do outreach, to bring stuff into the building.
Yeah.
So are there any like city programs or statewide programs that are
Good question.
specifically for seniors where they
Mhm.
can like
Get
just
out
hang
here.
out or
Just
get
do
out
stuff.
and
Yeah,
do
yeah,
stuff?
yeah. So around, a lot of the state advocacy, state programming you'll see is around like legislation and advocating for stuff, not
Okay.
necessarily leisure.
Okay.
But there are a lot of things that are like centered to Nubian Square that are kind of new that I think that are pretty cool, that are senior oriented. One thing is through an organization called TACC. It's right in Nubian Square. So you guys know Black Market, right?
Mhm.
They're pretty much upstairs. It's a nonprofit, and what they do is that they offer like free community cruises to anybody who pretty much wants to go on community cruises. They take you from Nubian Square, wherever you're at, over to the waterway down in the seaport, and they have these community cruises. That's one thing that I think that is really amazing that I think that folks really
I
enjoy.
need to look for more information on that. That's
On the first Fridays of the month over here at Martin Luther King Boulevard at the Melnia Cash Center, They do a senior walking program.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting, but it's getting active. There's something out there.
That's
for that.
good for seniors that may have issues with their legs and need to get active.
Yeah, get active.
Maybe
Yeah.
walking.
But I've been interested in personally doing some stuff. So you'll see some.
Well, tag me in. You
I'll
got
say
me.
that because YouTube is on. But
For
yeah.
seniors stuff.
That's a great question.
Organization I
Interesting,
heard
though.
about, it's called what is it? Oh, God, the national, Nubian Square Task Force.
Yep.
And I just heard about it in another meeting, so I'm trying to get involved with that and see
Yes.
exactly what they do.
Yeah, so they pretty much
So
like
on the
talk
Wednesday.
about a lot of the spillover from MasterCap to Nubian Square, and they try to put service providers together to talk about how they're going to manage the situation down there. But again, unless MasterCap is cleaned up, like it's not just Nubian Square; it's going to be everywhere. You go all the way to Mattapan Square.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
it's just kind of just going to be a circle. But yeah, we should do it.
Because you can see it,
Yeah.
it's going out how it's advancing up from Nubian Square.
Now, do they have centers, like dual diagnosis centers for people like that in Massachusetts?
Dual diagnosis centers.
Yeah, like mental health and drugs that help them out.
Well, they try to make the hospitals like BMC, that whole area over there, kind of just like a one-stop shop where you go there, you can get healthcare, this care, that care, methadone clinic, whatever it is, behavioral health. But what happened was that it became a hotspot for a lot of those people.
Yo,
and that's
for
how
real.
yeah.
A lot of people really wanna go to the
right
hospital
down
down
here.
there.
Yeah.
So
There's
what
too
they're
much
trying
of
to
that.
do is this new initiative now, what we're talking about on a state level is like decentralizing services, like not putting everything in one place, like
Okay.
moving everything
Right.
around so that way
Yeah.
it's not just
Yeah.
everything all in one. But we have
That
the
city
best
hospital
hospitals, we have
is
the best
jacked.
everything,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
wherever you go, you're gonna be taken care of,
And the
so.
Asian guy away with his funeral home, he built a brand new building and he closed up.
Oh,
Really?
oh wow.
I don't even
He
hit
closed
the
that?
highway that way anymore.
So the
That's
funeral
how
home- the
it's
funeral
just
home is
terrible.
closed? Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
hard,
didn't know
yeah.
Now they're
close.
all down, they're coming all the way down. the
Even
Cass
down
Boulevard.
here, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sharma Avenue, Madison Park. I mean,
Oh, they're everywhere now.
Everywhere you look, you see them.
Unfortunately, yeah, so, and,
Sad.
you wanna cut the YouTube? I wanna share something else.
Even the LED lights that are supposed to be new, it seems like we got the night lights. And everybody else got the bright lights.
Well,
You
they can
know?
change them, it's just on a setting.
Oh, really?
Setting 1 through 10.
Oh, so that sounds
Hey,
intentional.
can you
You know?
brighten it up over here?
I'm
They can
saying,
do that.
On
like-
a setting?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Imagine that.
So you know who will is it back on YouTube again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
One
Because I
before,
was
one
wondering-
before,
Should we cut the video?
hold on, let me pause this. Hold on, let me just back up. Hold
He's
on.
like,